everybody, so we are tuning in for Cooking with Leah. Last time we did baking, so we're cooking this time. I just want to give you a quick update. I did sort of change things up a smidgen. I've decided that I'm going to do 2 cooking and baking videos a month. So one of them will be cooking, one of them will be baking. I'm doing this so that I have room to do other kinds of videos, maybe hauls, maybe makeup tutorials, because you've been asking for that as well. Or I also had a separate idea that I'm still toying around in my head. So I'm not gonna give it up to you yet. So we'll wait and see if that's something I'm actually gonna go through with. So anyways, cooking with Leah tonight. Tonight we are having a family recipe that my mom actually got from a restaurant owner way back in the day in Boston. So we don't really have a name for this, so I've named it Little Porks in Special Sauce. So tonight we're making little porks in special sauce. Now what I like to serve with the pork, mashed potatoes. So I've got some red skin potatoes right here. And then also like another vegetable. So sometimes I'll do corn, green beans, and then I've got some peas in the freezer. So we're gonna use those tonight. So your ingredients, oh, and then the sauce does. So the sauce is kind of like a homemade barbecue sauce. I did get permission from my mother to share this with you, just so you know. So the ingredients for the sauce: molasses, ketchup, and spicy mustard, okay? So then you'll also need a pork loin, potatoes or rice, and then another little just something on the side. So that's when I do like corn or peas. Like I said, tonight's peas. So first thing is first. We want to get the potatoes washed, any imperfections cut out. We're gonna get them cut up and boiling on the stove. While that's happening, we're going to get the pork cut up and we will cook that on the stove top. Once the pork is cooked, you know, it's all white and stuff, that's when we add in the sauce. So I make extra sauce because sometimes I just like a little to drizzle all over my potatoes. So yeah. So first I'm gonna get these potatoes washed up. Okay, so Dan's in here cutting up the potatoes. And while he's doing that, I'm gonna get started on the pork. I always cut it open into the sink because of the pork juices. I don't like to get meat juice everywhere, it's gross. So this actually is a lot of pork for the 2 of us, but there weren't many options at the store. Oh, it's 2 porks. So what we could do is we could actually freeze one of these porks. I don't know what we'll do. Do we use both porks?
I mean, we're gonna eat it all if we make it.
That's gonna be a lot to eat, I think.
Not in one sitting, but eventually we're gonna eat it.
Okay, so we're gonna cut up all the pork. Dan's gonna eat it all. Just regular meat cutting. You want it to be bite-sized. The idea is that when you're cutting it, you don't need a knife for the whole meal, okay? So this is for people who only own forks. I've been eating this meal ever since I was a kid, for as long as I can remember. There's just a couple things. There's the little porks in special sauce, and then my mom's macaroni and cheese. I've never met anyone that makes it the way we do, and eventually maybe I'll make that for you guys. I would have to ask her if that's something I can share. It's nothing wild. There's just one secret little ingredient that nobody ever thinks of. So the pork is cut up. I'm just gonna dump it into the pan, get my hands washed up, and we'll start the sauce. Potatoes are on, the pork is on, so next we make the sauce. We let it sit while those things cook up. So again, the sauce is called special sauce. Made up, okay? But it's from a real restaurant back in the day. Again, molasses, ketchup, spicy mustard. The original recipe actually used regular mustard. It wasn't spicy, just so you know. So like I mentioned earlier, I'm making extra just because I like to have a little extra for the potatoes. And then also if like there's leftovers, then I'm gonna want extra sauce to put on it tomorrow. So we're doing 2 cups of ketchup. Then next we have a full cup of molasses. Slow as molasses. It's a real thing. And then 4 tablespoons of the mustard. Again, this is doubled. I got a bunch of meat back there, more than I thought, and I'm still hoping to have extra for potatoes. As you can tell, I really like extra for potatoes. Oh, you know what I should show you? So I actually have this written down on a recipe card that says Mom's Special Sauce, but I don't need to use the recipe anymore because I've got it memorized, but I'll go grab it in a second just so you can see it. It may or may not be laminated. I laminated some of my recipes. Yeah. Because I'm weird. I'm sure you have things you'd laminate too. Okay, so let's check the sauce. Just to make sure it tastes the way I like it. Yep, it's perfect. So I like the spicy mustard just because it gives it a little kick. Nothing wild. I don't like spicy things too much, so. Okay, so I've got a lot of pork cooking. I'm not putting the sauce in until it's all cooked just because I need to make sure it's all cooked. I don't like putting things and stuff until it's cooked. So maybe what I'll do is drizzle a little in just so it cooks into it. Some does, but I'll wait until the end to really slather. So I'll come back in a minute to do a little drizzling. And at the end we slather. So we just let these 2 cook and get going. And then we come back to slather and do the peas, okay? I'll be back. Okay guys, so the porks are slathered and sizzling. I have a teeny tiny bit left of the sauce. Really not much. Like I said, that was a lot of pork. I'm not sure if we're gonna eat it all, but I'll have it for lunch tomorrow. So what's next? I am going to mash up the potatoes because those are just about done. And then I'm doing that. Dan's just gonna get the frozen peas out of the freezer and pop them into the microwave. So just in case you haven't seen me make mashed potatoes before, I've got red skin potatoes with the skins on. I've already got some butter in my bowl. Then I'll add a little bit of milk, salt, and pepper, and then maybe I'll just grab a couple of other spices as well. So first, we drain the potatoes. Whoops, just lost one, that's fine. Get them all shaken out. Dump them in. Now, I know you guys, I'm gonna move over here. I use the hand masher and the mixer because I want my potatoes to be smooth as possible. So if you also want your potatoes to be smooth as possible, that's what I would recommend. I've been using this system since I was like in high school. You know, whenever I started making mashed potatoes at home. So I always put the butter in whatever I'm mixing the potatoes in first. Then I place the hot potatoes on top of the butter. And then I go in with this handheld masher just for a moment, just to do the initial mash. And this helps ensure that they're nice and smooth. So next, I just go in with this hand mixer real quickly. Just a smidgen, and then we'll get some milk in there. Okay, and now we're just gonna get some milk in there. I'll get some spices. Dan's here to do the peas. So my salt shaker ran out last night, so I just went over there to the big salt to get some. Gotta get more salt at the grocery store. Then here we're just gonna do some pepper real quick.
Where does it actually tell you the time?
And then I'm gonna put in some parsley. That's what my grandmother used to do. Parsley. I don't measure, we already know this. And then a little bit of garlic powder. Sometimes I put in onion, but I'm not gonna do any onion tonight. Oh, and a little milk. I don't measure. So, I'm gonna mix it up here. So just a tiny bit more milk. I always do milk in tiny bits because once you have too much in it, is too much. But you can always add more if you're adding tiny, tiny bits. So that's probably the last I'll need, to be honest. Great, the potatoes are done. I don't need to taste them because my potatoes always come out perfect. So I'm just gonna wipe this off and put it away. So the potatoes are done. The porks are over here. They're totally ready. They're on low now, and we're just waiting for the peas. Okay, so the peas are done, the potatoes are done, the little porks and special sauce are done. So I'm just gonna get it plated up and then we're gonna eat. And I hope you think it looks as delicious as it really is. If you make this, I really want you to comment, DM me, I will answer. I really wanna know if you make this. Tell me how you like it, because I hope you love it if you make it. Like I said, I've been eating this since I was a kid, so it's like a food staple for me. Again, I call it little porks and special sauce. And I will definitely put this up on the blog because I don't know where else you would find this. It's probably out there somewhere. Like I said, it did come from a restaurant. But I'll put it up on the blog so you guys can find it easily. And then again, like I said, please tell me if you make it. I would really love to know, okay? So thank you for joining. I hope you loved the video. Comment below. Let me know if you're gonna try it, if you did try it. And of course, subscribe to my YouTube if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram and everywhere as Voluptuous Leah. Thank you.